Pete Hegseth, the former Fox News host, currently in the running to be defense secretary, who is not qualified for the position, whether it be his experience or the fact that he's just caught up in all types of scandal, whether it be the fact that he, reportedly has alcohol problems or that he has a habit of sexually assaulting women. His racist tattoos, the report coming out that he said death to all Muslims in some bar, something like that. The email that his own mother sent to him, basically calling him out for being a piece of crap. He is just not very popular with the public, for good reasons to be in this position. Because at the end of the day, Donald Trump is staffing his cabinet with people who won't say no to him and will do anything and everything to fulfill his agenda. So we're gonna watch a little bit of this because this is a long clip from the Megyn Kelly show. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but we're gonna watch like the first 3 minutes of it, just to give you an idea of just the general culture and attitude that is taking over the executive branch of this country come in January. The fact that he thinks he doesn't owe anybody any answers is ridiculous because yes, you do. Like not only do you have to go through Senate hearings, unless Trump rigs it so that you don't, but not only do you need to do that, but also, no, you do owe the answers to the American public. And it's all fake. All of it's fake. All these accusations against him are all it's always fake. So let's go ahead and watch this, and you can just kind of see the attitude, and then we'll get to into former Fox News host who basically is saying that the bubble of Fox convinced Pete Hegseth that he's not going to have to go through any type of pushback, which is absolutely ridiculous. So let's go ahead and watch this real quick, and then we'll get into the other clips. But yeah, we're just going to do like the first 3 minutes of this.
An all-out assault since Trump named you.
No doubt.
I mean, from alleged rape allegations to allegations about your marriage to financial mismanagement.
And again, keep in mind that his own mother, we read the email that his own mother sent to him. But the idea that, you got all these allegations against you and they're all fake because why? Like, who is Pete Hegseth? What has he done that's so stupendous for the working man and woman that like the establishment would not want him to be in this position? What is he so popular with the public that the powers that be, the status quo, just give me a break? No. I mean, who has a bunch of rape allegations if there's no fire where the smoke is coming from? Where there's smoke, there's fire. You got all these allegations, including your own mother. You left your first wife for some woman you work with, your second wife for another woman you work with. These are patterns. This is who you are. Apparently, you're an alcoholic. And even if you take all of that out of the equation, you just don't have, yeah, he was in the military, which, kudos to him for that, but you don't have the background of managing and leading people to be in such a powerful position that millions of people depend on for work, including our safety.
Allegations at your companies that you ran, your foundations, I should say. How's it going with Trump right now? Is he so far standing by you, and have you spoken to him?
I spoke to him this morning, Megyn. I mean, he's amazing. He's a fighter. He's been through this himself. And he told me the last thing he said to me, well, two things he said to me when I left his office when he chose me was, well, besides what he said about being a warfighter, we can get into that, was you're going to need to be tough as shit. You're going to need to be tough as shit. But he paused again as I was walking away and said, but you're the man for this moment. I chose you because you're the guy that's going to put the warfighters first.
And again, yeah, you're the guy who's going to put the war fighters first, because I mean, this whole narrative is just ridiculous. The United States military is the most powerful military in the history of civilization. We will blow up anybody. Yeah, we got volunteer. We're not able to get as many volunteers as possible, but nonetheless, we're still the most powerful military ever. So the idea that up until Pete Hegseth, we just weren't serious about our military is just dumb, and he knows it. And again, like, who is Pete Hegseth? Like, this guy's in his 40s. It's not like he's some tried and tested, like general who's in his 50s or 60s who's been there, done that. No, you're none of these things. So yeah, the idea that, oh, Pete Hegseth, he's gonna make our military lethal again, as if it's not already lethal.
We haven't had that. We need a guy that's kicked down doors and understands the consequences of war and why us deterring war, fighting it, and winning it is important to him. He gets it. And we can get into the policy of all of that. But ultimately, he reiterated the same thing this morning. Hey, Pete, I got your back. It's a fight. They're coming after you. Get after it. I think he'll be delighted that we're talking today.
Yeah, no, because Trump, everything is about getting people in these positions who will just say yes to anything. That's all it's about.
And we're going to do more talking because for so long, what was said about me, what has been said about me, it was so ridiculous and all anonymous that we didn't want to give it oxygen. You don't want to respond to things that don't merit response. And so we haven't, but sitting here with you and going forward, the media is driving with this ridiculous narrative. It's our time to stand up and tell the truth and our side. And he knows that. And so he supports me. I won't betray what we talked about specifically, but he said, you go out and meet those senators and I've got your back. It means a lot to me. Tells you who that guy is.
So you are meeting with them. Any open wobbliness there? How do you like your chances right now?
I mean, Donald Trump won overwhelmingly, 76 million votes. He's got 53 senators, all of which understand what the American people voted for.
The American people, aka white people, because that's overwhelmingly white people choose the president every time, but the American people, aka white people,
they voted for the change that Donald Trump is going to bring, and they knew in the picks that he's made, he's bringing in change agents.
Matt Gaetz. What's her name? Linda McMahon, the WWE executive to head the Department of Education. RFK Jr., the brainworm attorney to be the head of Health and Human Services. Like, give me a break, man. Let's take fluoride out of the water.
If you wanted another general or another admiral or an executive or a CEO or a politician or a lawyer to run the Defense Department, we've tried that before. He said, I want a warfighter. I want lethality.
Generals are warfighters. They've been in war. Like pretty much what do you talk? Everything he's saying is ridiculous. And we're not going to watch this whole thing. We're only going to watch about 30 more seconds of it. But we need a warfighter. What do you think generals are?
Lethality. I want readiness, accountability, standards, warfighting. Pete, that's you.
That's you. Accountability, mister. All the allegations against me are fake. Every single last one of them. That's real accountability.
That's me. Clean house of the woke crap. All that stuff, all the climate stuff and the CRT and the DEI and
all the climate stuff, the critical race theory, the diversity, equity, inclusion. Just get rid of all of that. Make our military white as pasty white again. Make everything white.
And the genderism and get rid of it. Let's bring the Pentagon back to the people, the people's Pentagon for warfighters. And that's the message he gave to me that I've projected back to senators, and it resonates. When I get a chance to sit down, especially with these senators from the Senate Armed Services Committee, that's the committee I'm talking to. They care about the military a lot. They've run for office, spent their lives trying to invest in it. So the advise and consent process is a real.
All right, so we're gonna close it off there, just because this is pretty much the rest of it, because I want to show another clip. But again, the idea that the American military wasn't serious until Pete Hegseth is nobody believes that. Nobody. And anybody who isn't, just steeped in the MAGA cult would look at this guy and be like, I don't know about Pete Hegseth. Maybe we can do better than this. But it's not about qualifications. It's not about merit. It's about Trump filling his cabinet with yes men who are just going to do whatever he wants. That's all it's about. And again, if you're not a part of the cult, then you know that to be true. So now we're going to check this out real quick. Former Fox News host says Fox bubble may have convinced scandal-ridden Pete Hegseth he could be nominated without pushback. 100%, I agree. Again, for him to be all, I don't owe any explanations to anybody. Yeah, you do. So let's check this out.
And spoke publicly.
There's so many allegations. I mean, it's not just about financial mismanagement at these two organizations. It's the sexual misconduct claims. It's the alcohol alleged problems. I mean, it just keeps coming out. I just can't believe that this would ever go to a hearing. And the thing I've been thinking about today, aside from why we even teach our kids to have morals and values, is that I mean, why would Pete Hegseth put himself in this situation? And the only answer that I can come up with is that when you work at Fox, it's kind of like a bubble. And maybe he just felt like none of this would ever come out, and that Trump really didn't have any repercussions for some of the alleged sexual misconduct things that he had in his past as well.
Yeah, I mean, the reporting by Jay Mayer, Van, a whistleblower report that claims when Hegseth was president of Concerned Veterans for America, he was, quote, repeatedly intoxicated while acting in his official capacity to the point of needing to be carried out of the organization's events. As Gretchen was saying, there are other accusations of sexual impropriety, misconduct, and also treatment of women at these organizations, being drunk in a bar, chanting about killing Muslims. The list is a long one.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Yeah, like why would all of these allegations be fake? And again, for like, what's the point? What do we get out of making all of this stuff up about Pete Hegseth? Who is he? Like what is he going to do? What has he done for the American public such that all the media and the establishment just don't want him in there? Well, look, listen, Donald Trump is the establishment. And at the end of the day, this is going to be the worst administration possibly that this country has ever seen before. Hey now, thank you so much for tuning in here at Politics and Paper. If you like what I do and you support my work, go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it and really helps to support what we do here.